Hey guys, Dropship Tyler here again, and this is going to be the third video in the series that I'm doing on the software I use, which is SaleFreaks. The last two videos, the first one was about doing product research and actually having those products listed onto the eBay platform through the software. And then the second one was about cleaning up your items, repricing your items. When I say cleaning up, I mean like delete or just changing the title, things like that, to try to get the item to sell if it hasn't sold after 30 days, and then deleting it after that 60-day period. So yeah, that was a little recap on what I've been doing in the videos, and now today we're going to be going over the global settings. So this is going to be your initial settings when, whether it's an item gets listed or like the markup, which is right here, the SaleFreaks repricer profit range, or how much sales tax you want to include in the break-even range, and I'll explain all of this right here. So first thing you need to do, you need to go to settings and you need to go to global settings. First setting is very important. So this is going to be your PayPal fee per transaction. If you're an international seller, then it's going to be higher, but if you're in the US, it's actually 2.9%. So what I would do is I would change this and default everything to 2.9%. So that way SaleFreaks knows what your break-even range is, so they can reprice based on that PayPal fee. The eBay fee is going to be 9.15% for everybody that has a store. If you are below standard, which hopefully you're not, then there's an additional 5% tacked onto that. So you're going to be paying like a 14% fee instead of a 9.15% fee for that. So SaleFreaks automatically assumes that you're not in below standard. If you are, then you can just go and you can change this default PayPal fee per transaction to like 8%. But you need, if you are below standard, get out of that as soon as possible, obviously. So then the next thing is the Amazon sales tax markup. And SBA stands for sold by Amazon. And the reason that they allow you to put a markup on products that are sold by Amazon is because Amazon actually charges sales tax on all of their listings. So if a product is sold by Amazon, SaleFreaks will put an additional markup on there. For me, I think I have 5% as my sold by Amazon on my account. So basically anything that's $10 on Amazon, SaleFreaks is going to read that as $10.50. So I don't want to put the sold by Amazon markup too high, because then it's just going to make my prices too high. And there's some states that don't charge sales tax right now. So for sold by Amazon, 5% is fine. If you don't put any markup on there, there's going to be some items that you may take a slight loss on, which in the grand scheme of things is not a big deal. But when you're first starting off and you see, negative 50 cents profit because you didn't include what the tax would be for it, that could be something that, you find to be an issue. People contact me and freak out saying, hey, why did I lose money on this sale? Whatever. So that's going to happen. You're going to have some negative profit ones just with the repricers. There's no repricer out there that catches an item exactly right when it reprices also. So you're going to have some negatives from that, whether a seller on Amazon raised it $1, and then you sold it 5 minutes later and SaleFreaks didn't reprice it in that 5 minutes, then there's going to be some negatives regardless. But this is a way to avoid the negatives because of the sold by Amazon. So you can put 5% there. FBA, I don't have any markup for FBA, and I don't have any markup for Marketplace. Even though there are a lot of FBA sellers charging sales tax now, there's still more that don't, I believe, from what I've seen. So I don't have any data on that exactly, but I know for a fact that Amazon, their products, they charge sales tax on, and then a lot of the third-party FBA sellers, they don't. So quantity, I always put 1, just because the way Amazon is, you never really know if there's going to be a limited, sellers can set a limited quantity that you can buy from them on like a weekly basis. So I just do 1 to try to avoid selling too much of one particular item and then having to put that item out of stock, because I can't purchase anymore with my Amazon accounts. All right, so SaleFreaks repricer profit range. This is very high, and the reason is because this is a test account, and what they're trying to do, I believe, is to have a higher margin and not really, worry about volume too much. And just every sale they get, they want to make sure they're getting at least 17% on here. So that's it. This is a test account. It's not my account. Like I said, I don't know their reasoning behind it. I'm guessing it's just because they don't want to have to mess with too many customer service issues. So for me, what I do, I have all of my items start at 4% to 20%. So what this is going to do is, if an item is super competitive, then it's going to put it at 4%. If an item is not very competitive and there's not many people selling it, or everyone's selling it is, at a high margin, or it's a no competition item, then it's going to be closer to the top end of the 20% when you sell that. So that's what I do for mine. Minimal profit value per sale. So if you want to have, say for example, you're selling a $5 item, then a 4% profit margin is going to be 20 cents. So if you want a minimum profit margin of 50 cents, you can do $1, whatever. For me, I have 0.25 in this. So every single thing that I sell, I'm making at least a quarter on. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm a volume seller, and I'm really those lower end items that I'm only making that small amount on. Those are gonna drive traffic to my eBay store. They're gonna create lots of feedback for me. They're gonna generate sales, which the eBay algorithm likes, and that's gonna allow all of my other items to boost up in the ranking in the long run. So I don't mind, like I said, taking small sales, just to keep selling. Supporting open box. This is probably the most important feature on SaleFreaks that distinguishes it from every single other software, and I will go over open box with you guys, and I'll do a video specifically on open box. I'm a huge fan of it, especially with the downturn on eBay. My sales dropped, but I listed a lot of open box items, so my profit margin was a lot higher. So these open box items, what they are is they're the Amazon warehouse deals, and I show that in another video, but they're the Amazon warehouse deals, and they're used items. Well, the category is used, but they're actually returns that happened where nothing is really wrong with the item. It's just someone opened the box, whatever. Maybe the packaging was damaged, so they immediately put it in this category of Amazon warehouse deals, and that is going to be listed as a new other condition item on eBay, and it's going to have open box in the title. The seller is going to be able to, the buyer is going to be able to see that item, there's some sort of like small issue with it where it's either, like I said, the packaging is damaged, maybe some really unnoticeable like scratch in the item, whatever. But the thing is the item's so much cheaper that a lot of buyers don't care, and you're still able to put a huge profit margin on it, because it's still going to be the cheapest on eBay. And you're not lying to the customer because you have that in the description that it's new other condition, see description, and then in the description it actually says exactly what could possibly be wrong with the items. There's no major damage. Sometimes since it is a returned item, there might be like missing screws or missing batteries or something like that, that you can work out with Amazon for a partial refund, and then partially refund your customer as well. So this right here, you would have to enable this, and that would allow that option, but I'm not going to do this since it's not my account. I'll show you from my account or a different test account exactly how the open box works and how to search for those items. The one thing is you do have to have a 5,000 minimum item plan to be able to do the open box, because it is such a, it's such a game changer that they kind of only want to give it to the customers that are really putting in the effort rather than just anyone who comes and wants to test it out. Especially, I guess, they're not worried so much about saturation, but if everybody did come and just have a 100 item, 200 item plan, whatever, and every single person got to use the open box, it might get a little saturated, especially since a lot of these open box items, there's only like 1 or 2 quantity at the time of sale on Amazon, and then you have to wait for another return to come, and then Amazon put that item in the Amazon warehouse deals, and then that item will come back into stock. So with the open box items, you do have to delete the out of stocks regularly. What I do is I go in and I filter everything that I haven't had an order on that's open box and is out of stock. I'll typically just go ahead and delete those. If it's had a sale before, then I'll keep it, and then if it's been out of stock for more than 2 months, I'll just delete that item later on. So template, you can actually integrate Crazy Lister into SaleFreaks, and you can make your own template and then have that template go on to SaleFreaks through that integration. Total number of images to upload. What this is going to do is, say there's only 1 image on Amazon, but you want 8 images minimum on eBay. It's going to take that 1 image and it's going to replicate it 8 times, and that's going to, a lot of people think that that actually helps with the search ranking on eBay. If you have more than 1 photo, then eBay is going to look at that product as a better, or that listing as a better listing. It's going to rank it higher, whatever. So for those people that do believe in that algorithm variable, this would be something that you'd want to do. Hide My UPC. If you also believe that UPC codes are the way to go, or your own unique UPC codes, that is, if you believe that you want your own UPC code on eBay, you don't want to be grouped together with a bunch of products, then you can use this Hide My UPC option, and every single product will have its own unique UPC. Me, lately, I've been concerned about eBay doing the buy box and trying to group all the listings together, so I've actually been using the correct UPC of the product. I have not split tested it enough, or really at all, to be able to determine what is better. That is something I want to do in the future, but for now my sales are fine. I'm making money. I've talked to guys who are using the Hide My UPC. They're the same way. They're making money. They're doing well. It's just, I would have to do a split test on one account, have some items with the unique UPC and some items without it, so that I could really, tell. So I don't want to give anyone advice on that, but if they know and they feel comfortable doing one or the other, then yeah, that option is for you right there. So for me, I don't have best offer on this, the Amazon vendors type. I actually choose Prime only, so that way all of my products are actually being shipped from the Amazon warehouse, and they're not coming from a third-party seller. And the reason is, and this is the same thing, Prime fulfillment type, default is all Prime. So the reason is that I don't use third-party sellers, like marketplace sellers, is because a lot of them are dropshippers. A lot of them might be shipping from China. Another big issue is if you do a return, you have to wait for that person to send the label, and then you send the label to the person on eBay. And that's just it's gonna be a huge issue if they have, and actually I guess some of them have automatic returns where you click on it, they give you, like Amazon gives you the label, it goes back to their warehouse. But some of them actually, and I'm an Amazon seller who has this as well, they have exceptions on all of their listings, which means they have to wait and approve their return. And that takes time, and that's gonna cause more time to go by on eBay. So I just choose to only do Prime so I can go ahead and get that return label quickly from Amazon. So policy type, that's if you want to change your business policies. You can go there, play with it. You can see that they have, I don't want to mess with this, but they have like a 30-day business return policy that's going to go into effect for everybody. 60-day return policy, which you probably wouldn't want to do because that would cause you not to be able to return the item on Amazon if it's been more than 30 days in most cases. You can charge I think you're not going to be able to do this in the future, but right now you can charge like a 20% restocking, a 5% restocking fee. So if someone returns it and it's not your fault, like there was nothing wrong with the product, you can actually charge a fee for that person returning the item. All right, so minimal negative profit to allow $5. This is basically saying that if an item gets repriced and someone still buys it, what is the maximum allowance you will let SaleFreaks still order the product? So if SaleFreaks starts ordering the product, it gets in the shopping cart, they go to checkout, and the software recognizes that it's going to take a $5 loss. It will still buy the product, and it will obviously, it's just going to show up as a -5 in your profit. But if it's more than $5, it's going to put it in the purchase issues, and then you can decide what you want to do with it from there. So a lot of times I'll just contact the customer and say, hey, we have an issue with the product, or we're back ordered of the product. Would you like to go ahead and get a refund? We're not sure when the product will come back, etc. So from there, they'll just ask to cancel the order, and we can take it out of the purchase issues. But if it's under $5, I mean, allowing it to go through is typically the right thing to do, because even though you're taking a loss on that particular product, you're not risking getting a negative. Your cancellation rate's not going to be that as high or whatever on eBay. So I like to let them go through even though it's like a small loss. All right, default auto order price items on. So this is if you accidentally list an item that's too high priced, they typically have a higher chance of being bought by people who are trying to scam you, scammers. So what I do, and looks like what SaleFreaks does too, this is the same amount of purchase restriction that I have. So I have mine on, and then the default is $300. So anything that's over $300 is also going to go into the purchase issues. You get to review it before it's purchased. You can make the call to either, to ask the customer to cancel, then delete the item, or you can go ahead and let that go through. All right, so all of the other settings, so I would turn on add-on items on Amazon as soon as you're getting consistent orders on like an hourly basis. So once you're getting 5 to 10 orders, I would say 5 orders probably an hour, you can turn this on, because then it will bundle all of the items together. And with add-on items, you have to have a minimum of a $25 cart on Amazon. So what this is going to do now is it's going to bundle your orders together, and it's going to allow you to be able to purchase the add-on items. Those add-on items are typically below $10. Sometimes they have a really good profit margin if you go through and you customize your profit margin on everything, just because they are lower priced. And if you buy from somewhere else besides Amazon, then they're going to be charged shipping. So you can mark those up a little higher and get away with it usually. But yeah, add-on items are definitely a good way to generate a lot of sales. And you just want to make sure that you're getting enough orders to where if you get an add-on item sale, it's not going to sit there for a few hours before more items can come in and be bundled with it. Just because you're risking out of stock, items being repriced by the Amazon seller, etc. All right, so that is the global settings and how I do mine. All right, guys, so that does it for today. I hope you learned something new and found this video interesting. If you liked it, please like the video. And if you want to learn more about dropshipping and just online business in general, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be putting out a lot more videos, and hopefully you guys find them interesting. If you have any comments, go ahead and leave that in the comment section. If you want me to do a video about something specific, let me know and I do my best. But I really appreciate you guys watching. Thanks.